In this video, we're going to talk about why saving for retirement is going to get a heck of a lot easier. But before I get too far into it, don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell, and let's get into it. So it really happens where you actually find an act of Congress which is going to be beneficial for almost all Americans, and that may actually happen with the passage of Secure Act 2.0. Now, Secure Act 2.0 at its core includes a variety of different things, which is going to make saving for retirement a lot simpler. This Secure Act 2.0 has already passed the House of Representatives with an overwhelming majority, and the likelihood is pretty good that it passes through the Senate as well and becomes law. But at any rate, let's delve a little bit further into Secure Act 2.0 and how exactly is it going to make saving for retirement a lot simpler. So there's a concept in 401ks and other retirement vehicles called RMDs. RMDs are basically required minimum distributions. So once you hit retirement age, a few years thereafter, you are required to withdraw a percentage of your money and effectively pay taxes on it. What the Secure Act 2.0 is going to do is basically going to take that RMD age from 72 to 75. So that basically means that you will have a lot longer for your money to grow. In terms of what this RMD basically turns out to, there's various online retirement calculators for it. I will include a link to one from the IRS website in the description below, so definitely go ahead and check that out to determine what your RMD is going to be. Now, for various individuals, they do not pull out the RMD at this point in time, and that effectively results in various fines and penalties by the government as well. The fine or the penalty for lack of withdrawal of your RMD can be nothing short of absolutely debilitating, because it is one of the most significant fines, penalties, taxes, whatever it is that you want to call it, that is actually out there for retirees. For example, if you do not pull out of your RMD or pull out those required minimum distributions on an annual basis, there's a 50% of the annual RMD payment fine or excise tax on it. Now, one of the benefits of the Secure Act 2.0 is it basically reduces that amount of this penalty from 50% to 25%, and if you actually correct it on time, it even further reduces that excise tax or penalty to 10%. So that's a little bit around this whole notion of required minimum distributions and the taxes or the excise taxes associated with the required minimum distribution. But the Secure Act 2.0 goes further than that, and this is how it can be very helpful. One of the biggest issues when it comes to employer-sponsored retirement plans is the lack of participation thereof. Firstly, only 46% of employers actually offer employee type of retirement plans such as a 401k, and then on top of that, only 32% of Americans actually take advantage of those retirement plans. So there's really two issues there. One is trying to get more employers to have employer-sponsored retirement plans, and secondly, to actually have more Americans sign up for those employer-sponsored retirement plans as well. And the Secure Act 2.0 does a variety of different things to help with both of those issues. For example, one of the things that Secure Act 2.0 is basically asking employers to do is they're asking employers to automatically enroll employees into their employer-sponsored 401k plans. So what will effectively happen is these employers will basically say that you are automatically enrolled in our 401k plan, and we will be deducting 3% of your paycheck such that it goes to this retirement plan. And of course, we will be putting in our employer-sponsored matching component to that as well. So basically, you do not have to do anything to basically sign up for such a plan, which is quite beneficial. On top of that, what will happen is if the employee does not opt out of it, is that amount of this contribution to the employer-sponsored 401k plan will go up by 1% on an annual basis, up to a max of 10%. Of course, we want to make sure that we do not trip the maximum amount of contribution that you could have for your 401k, which for this year is $20,500. Now, these employer-sponsored 401k plans, they do help employers as well, okay? So the employers basically do get a deduction when they contribute or when they put in the matching amount towards these retirement plans. But what the Secure Act 2.0 is also going to do is they're going to further that benefit quite a bit. So for example, an employee may say that they're deciding to opt out from this auto enrollment feature into the employer-sponsored 401k plan. But what this Secure Act 2.0 basically does is, should an employer say that, hey, this is really a good thing, we'll give you a gift card or something else to that effect, such that to incentivize an employee to basically sign up for an employer-sponsored 401k plan, what will effectively happen is there will be a tax benefit for the employer to give out some of those gift card types of things as well. Now, there's other ways where Secure Act 2.0 also helps the employee, and one of the biggest ways that it does so is frequently what happens with employees, and particularly employees with student loans, they're usually held up in this kind of problematic scenario. This problematic scenario is basically that, should I continue to contribute to my 401k plan or employer-sponsored retirement plan, or should I actually take some of my money and put it towards my student loans? What frequently happens is people start putting their money more towards their student loans than towards these employer-sponsored benefit plans, which effectively puts it in a bit of a bind, because they're effectively putting forward this contribution to the student loans as opposed to their future retirement. Secure Act 2.0 actually works towards helping this particular fact pattern out as well, and this is how it goes about doing it. What Secure Act 2.0 is basically asking for is, if an employee is actually going ahead and paying their student loans, what it actually allows the employer to do is also to match a certain amount of that student loan payment, of course assuming there's sufficient and suitable documentation associated with that, to actually benefit the employee. So not only is the employee paying for that student loan, but they're also getting some money from their employer towards their retirement plan. There's other ways that the Secure Act 2.0 is also helping people out, and one of the ways that it's doing so is something called the catch-up contribution. So currently there already is a catch-up contribution. So as I mentioned earlier, the maximum amount that you can contribute towards your 401k is around $20,500. There is a catch-up contribution at this point in time for people that are over 50 years of age, where they can basically contribute $6,500 in addition to that $20,500 amount that I mentioned earlier. What Secure Act 2.0 is, or allows you to do, is once you hit that ages of 62, 63, 64, what it actually does is it takes up that catch-up contribution from the $6,500 value that I mentioned earlier to $10,000, which is a significant add-on when you're getting closer and closer and closer to retirement. And it doesn't just stop there. This catch-up contribution, this $6,500 all the way up to 62, and then 62, 63, 64, are putting in $10,000 towards this catch-up contribution, will also be eligible for Roth 401k treatment. I've done a different video when it comes to all of these retirement vehicles. I don't want to peel back the layers on Roths and traditionals too far in this video, but I'll leave a link to that particular video up above, as well as in the description below, so definitely go ahead and check that one out. Now, there are other benefits for the Secure Act 2.0 as well, which I won't go into too much detail in this video, largely considering the demographics who are typically viewing this YouTube channel. But at a very elevated level, some of the other benefits of Secure Act 2.0 include, if your AGI is less than $24,000, you are eligible for something called a Saver's Tax Credit. Secure Act 2.0 also expands the 401k to include certain benefits for part-time workers as well. There is another very significant benefit when it comes to Secure Act 2.0, and this has to do for retirees who are already over 70 and a half years old. So what you can basically do is take some of those required minimum distributions that I talked about earlier, and what you can do with those is apply them towards charitable donations. So what happens is, this is a significant benefit. What you basically do with these qualified charitable type of distributions is you take your RMD amount and you basically put $100,000 of that RMD amount directly towards a qualified charitable institution. And this is a significant benefit because those dollar values that come in through that RMD do not impact your adjusted gross income. So they're not really taxable income, but you do get a charitable deduction on that. So you're basically double dipping into this huge benefit. And what Secure Act 2.0 does does is it's basically is requiring that $100,000, it effectively gets indexed for inflation. So every year it'll naturally start going higher and higher. And lastly, if you're a small business owner, the Secure Act 2.0 also has inclusive of other or additional considerations, which makes it more desirable for small businesses to create employee-sponsored retirement plans as well. All in all, this Secure Act 2.0 is a significant boon or a significant benefit for employees. So that's all the elements of the Secure Act 2.0 in a nutshell. Which of these provisions are you perhaps the most excited about? Include all of those in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the contents of this video, and if you stayed this long, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.